Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful Tuesday here in in Florida. God, I don't even know where I am. But anyway, the Fountain of Youth. Again, if I'm not mistaken, in my history days, you go back to some of the founders of the state of Florida back thousands of years ago, came to Florida looking for the Fountain of Youth. And a new piece of information coming out of Africa, of all places, says we could have found the secret to eternal youth. Now, let me just give you a little background. Back in school, I was known as the gut guy, that I went over and over again about microbiome and the health of the colon and the correct forms of probiotics and how it just impacted total body health. A lot of times I was scoffed at. I was put into a point of saying, you just draw everything there. That's just a bit of an overkill. And I've also, over the last probably 5 years, talked about something. You ready? It's going to be gross. Fecal transplants. And I talked about those as maybe life-sustaining, that there are going to be days where there are donation centers set up where you can leave samples if you're healthy. And in light of the coronavirus thing, trust me, I still predict down the road here, maybe next year, there will be some information that comes out about fecal transplants saving the lives of those with coronavirus. Mark my word. But today we're going to have a little fun with an article that comes out of the University of East Anglia. And it says this: could fecal transplants one day be the secret to eternal youth? And again, it says, fecal transplants could one day be used as therapy to restore cognitive function to the elderly. Could we stop Alzheimer's or the breakdown of memory and focus? According to new research from the University of East Anglia, the University of Florence, and the Quadram Institute. The new study published today, let's see where this came from. This came from the Journal of Microbiome, my favorite. The new study published today shows how fecal transplants from older to younger mice altered their gut microbiome, which in turn impacted their spatial learning and memory. The research team hoped that reversing the procedure could one day see fecal transplantation used to combat cognitive decline among the elderly. Dr. David Vazur from East Anglia says aging is an inevitable process. Hallelujah. Yeah, we know that. That starts immediately after birth, yes, and ultimately leads to physical health problems as well as a decline in psychological well-being and cognitive function. Research has shown that the aging process may be linked with age-related changes in the gut microbiota. There is a whole world that goes and lives inside of you. The bacterial presence, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, billions of bacteria that lives in your entire digestive system, which is one of the major areas that keep your immune system activated. And because of the link between the gut and the brain, keeping that microbiome healthy could be the bottom line of keeping the brain functioning. Recently, the existence of a two-way communication between the gut and the brain, known as the gut-brain axis, that I've talked about incessantly, has emerged as an important player in shaping aspects of behavior and cognitive function. We wanted to see whether transferring gut microbes from older to younger mice could affect parts of the central nervous system associated with aging. The research team performed fecal transplants from older adult mice to younger adult mice and then assessed the young adults for markers such as anxiety, exploratory behavior, and memory. Could this just blow away the use of SSRIs, the medications for anxiety? Could it be so simple as to do this just once? But it comes with a little bit of price. You can't just do this once and expect it to stay. You know, you have to Nurture. Just like if you had a garden in your backyard, you've got to nurture, you've got to fertilize, you've got to take care of. Which is why I've talked so much about the right forms of probiotics mixed immediately with prebiotics in the same capsule, which is why our ultra probiotic is so powerful. Mixed with inulin, food for those bacteria to propagate and live. After the transplantation, the team found significant differences in the young mice's microbial profiles. While the young adults showed no significant changes in the markers of anxiety, explorative behavior, or local motor activity, they did show impaired spatial learning and memory, as measured in a maze test. These changes were paralyzed by alterations in the expressions of proteins called synaptic plasticity and neurotransmission. The wiring from the brain to the body, and changes to the cells in the hippocampus part of the brain. So literally, by changing things in the microbiome, we literally changed parts of the brain. It's the part of the brain, the hippocampus, which is responsible for learning and memory. Dr. Vazur said, our research shows that fecal transplantation from an old donor to a young recipient causes an age-associated shift in the composition of the gut microbiome. The procedure had an impact on the expression of proteins involved in key functions of the hippocampus, an important part of the brain that has a vital role in a variety of functions, including memory, learning, but also in spatial navigation, in emotional behavior, and mood. In short, the young mice began to behave like old mice in terms of their cognitive behavior. Professor Claudio Nicoletti from the University of Florence in Italy said, quote, while it remains to be seen whether transplantation from very young donors can restore cognitive function in aged recipients, the findings demonstrate that age-related shifts in the gut microbiome can alter components of the central nervous system. Never thought possible. This work highlights the importance of the gut-brain axis in aging and provides a strong rationale to devise therapies aiming to restore a young-like microbiota to improve cognitive function and quality of life in the elderly. Could we, and this isn't just theory, could we take somebody, let's say in their late 70s, early 80s, and turn things around to the extent of saying, if we really used a lot of good bacteria and really changed their diet and really had them take care of the gut microbiome, cut back on steroids, cut back on antibiotics, bad foods, could we literally have turned things around to the point where the microbiome is so well taken care of that we see a difference up here? This work highlights the importance of the gut-brain axis in aging and provides a strong rationale to devise therapies aiming to restore a young-like microbiota. Manipulating the microbiome is increasingly being seen as a way of improving and maintaining human health. And I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't say a word about COVID today. I'm getting sick and tired of watching it on the news. I know it's real. I know it's real. I know it's real. And as we move into Thanksgiving, I know it's real. Some of this nonsensical lockdown stuff is just driving me nuts. Why is not somebody talking about taking care of your gut health, taking care of your lungs, taking vitamin D, taking some zinc, taking probiotics of the right form? No, not going into Walgreens and buying it off the shelf. No offense to Walgreens. We have established a fecal transplant service in the Norwich Research Park to treat serious gut infections and now want to explore in humans its effectiveness in combating a number of age-related conditions, including cognitive decline. The research was led by a team at the University of Florence in collaboration with colleagues from the University of Milan, Earlham University, University of Siena, Quadrum Institute, and the Nottingham Trent University. Again, published October 2nd, the Journal of Microbiome. You can look it up. If you want a copy, give me a call. You want to know more about that form of probiotics? You want to save your life? You want to get some as maybe a Thanksgiving gift to your parents? And watch the difference? Give us a call at the office, 678-228-8900, 678-228-8900. The website is thenutritionshop.net. God bless you, folks, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.